and welcome back to Lavonnes Kitchen. Today we're doing the part 2 of our pulled pork series. So in part 1 we showed you how to cook the pulled pork. Today we're going to show you one of 6 different recipes that we can do with that cooked pulled pork. Okay, my pulled pork is done, and it didn't take the whole 10 hours. It only took 8 hours because I tested it to see if it would pull apart. So I want you to see this. Remember I told you how those onions were going to just cook down. So you see all this juice in here. Remember, we didn't put any water in here whatsoever. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and start pulling it apart. Look at that. Just pulling it apart. And that bone is going to all just going to slide right off of the bone. Those onions are going to all be mixed in there and with the juice and all those seasonings we put in there. Let's see if we can get that bone out of there. See that bone? It's still hot, y'all, so I got to be careful. Look at that. It just slid right off the bone. So I'm just going to pull all this apart like this. Mix it all up in this juice. Look at that. Make sure it's shredded nice, and it's so tender. Look, it just falls apart. And so I've got me some containers. Let me show you. I've got these containers. So I'm just going to fill up as many containers as I can with what I have here. And that's going to tell me how many different meals I can make. You know? But let me finish pulling it apart. Make sure it's mixed nice and well. I want to make sure those onions are mixed up in there so that everything is even. Look at those onions in there. I want to make sure everything is evenly distributed. Look at that. The seasonings. We're going to add some different seasonings, but it depends on which segment I'm working on and which meal I'm making out of it. I think it's pretty much mixed up and pretty much shredded. Let's see. So I'm just going to get me a spoon. And start filling these up. And from the looks of it, I should be able to get at least 5 of these containers. So I'm going to go ahead, separate these into 5 containers, and then we'll start on our first meal. So as you can see, I actually wound up with 6 of these. And so we're going to have 6 different types of meals made with our pulled pork. Look at that. Doesn't that look delicious? Stay tuned. So for today, we are going to do some plain pulled pork sliders. You know, some people have the barbecue sliders. Some people have all different types of things, but we're doing it with the meat as is. So let's get to it. So we have, remember from part 1, we cooked it and we separated it into 6 different containers so that we could at least have 6 different meals. So we're doing sliders. So we have our meat. We have some Hawaiian rolls. I'm going to use a Mexican cheese blend. It's a 5 cheese blend so that it's a lot of different cheeses in there. I love cheese. And then I made some garlic butter this morning. So we're going to put some garlic butter on those rolls. And that's it. So first thing we're going to do is slice our bread so that we can put the meat on them. Sometimes you can buy these and they're already sliced, but I did not. So what I'm gonna do is slice them. When you're slicing bread, you need a serrated knife. Can you see that? How it has the ridges? That's a serrated knife. That some people call it a bread knife, but this is the type of knife that you use to cut tomatoes and you use to cut bread. So I'm gonna bring you guys in a little closer so that you can see what I'm doing. And while I'm doing that, you know what I need you to do. That's right. Go hit that subscribe button, and while you're out there, hit that like and notification bell, and don't forget to share. All right? So I'm gonna bring you closer, and I'll be right back. So what I wanna do is I wanna make 6 sandwiches. So I'm going to cut these straight down the middle, or straight across, however you want to do it. Okay, so we have our 6 pieces of bread. So what I want to do now is just go ahead and put our meat right on top. Remember I told you we had a lot of meat. So actually this is enough to do probably 4 more because we got a lot of meat still left. I only need 6 today, so I'm only going to use a little of this. So that means I can make something else out of this. That $12 is going to go a long way. We're going to really stretch that $12. Okay, so I'll take some of our cheese and spread it on top. Spread it out really good. Make sure it's all covered. Gonna put our buns back on the top. Then we're gonna take our garlic butter that I made. The garlic butter was just some butter, some minced garlic, and parsley. And then we're gonna just brush that on the top. I want them nice and buttery and nice and garlicky. And of course, they'll be nice and cheesy. Here we go. I already have my oven preheated to 400 degrees, so I'm just gonna put this in the oven right now for about 5 minutes because basically I just need that cheese to melt because the meat is already cooked. So our sliders are done. I'm gonna get those out of the oven and plate them up so that I can taste them because all that garlic is filling the room and it's smelling good. I'm ready. So I just took them out of the oven. As you can see, they're nice and toasted. You'll have a little bit of a crunch on top because I put that butter and I baked them so it's toasted. They have that crunch. And of course, they're nice and cheesy. Oh, yes. So, I'll put a couple of these on here.
So this is the moment I have been waiting for. I want to taste it. Mmm. 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 So you get all that flavor from the pulled pork. You getting that garlic butter on the bread. Of course, all those cheeses from the 5-cheese blend. Mmm, mmm, mmm. 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 It's good, y'all. That is one of the recipes that we're going to do with our pulled pork. I was going to do pulled pork chili as well, but I forgot. I already have a pulled pork chili recipe. So basically, go out there and check out that pulled pork recipe. It's the same thing. It was just some pulled pork and I made chili out of it. So go check that video out. But we're going to come back with part 3 and we're going to make some pulled pork tacos. So I'm going to eat these. Like I said, if you have not already hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button. Remember to follow us on this series. It's a pulled pork series. Come back for part 3. And guess what? I'll see you next time in the kitchen. Bye. Mmm.